Hey everyone, I don't know whether I'm going to end up posting this. If you're watching it, then I guess I did. And if not, well, I'm hoping it'll provide some kind of catharsis. Teaching is a incredibly hard job, and starting your own business is also an incredibly hard thing to do. And some days you just feel like giving up. I'm running on 3.5 hours sleep, and during my teaching career I've dealt with a lot. I've dealt with more incompetent managers than I can count, which makes me very thankful for the ones that I have had. I've dealt with kids who don't want to be there, adults who don't want to be there. I've dealt with schools that care more about their bottom line than they do about their teachers and their students. I've dealt with anonymous trolls online who are trying to chop down everything that I'm trying to build. I've dealt with low pay, I've dealt with early mornings, I've dealt with late nights, I've dealt with being overworked, I've dealt with not being able to find work. And it's tough, it's really tough. But when you feel like this, it's important to take a step back and say, okay, I dealt with all those things. But I've also dealt with or worked with amazing managers who really valued what I brought to their company. I've dealt with more fantastic students than I care to remember. I've dealt with parents who have been so appreciative of what I do for their kids, and adults who are so appreciative of what I do for them. I've worked at good schools, and I haven't given up yet. 17 years I've been doing this, and I can still see myself doing something like it in another 17. So recently I posted on a few Facebook groups and asked teachers what is the most difficult thing about teaching for them. And I got a lot of responses. And a lot of it comes down to poor pay, schools that, don't treat them properly, teacher burnout, and a lot of other things. And I also spoke with one teacher who is thinking of quitting and one teacher who has quit. And I think that's a crying shame, because in both cases, the messages that I was getting, there's a clear passion there. And the industry pushed them out. So the final thing I'd like to say is, two final things. Firstly, if you're a teacher, whether you're an experienced teacher who's running low on energy like me, or whether you're somebody that's just breaking in to the industry, don't give up. Because if you give up, there are students out there that will never get to feel your particular brand of energy and passion. And the final thing I'd like to say is, I'd like to address a comment, a quote, or a cliche that's out there. It says, those who can do and those who can't teach. Well, I've never heard such utter nonsense in my life. If you're somebody who's ever criticised a teacher, and if you've ever uttered that quote, then bring it on. You try teaching yourself, because for all the rewards that you get from it, it's an incredibly difficult job, and most people can't do, and most people can't teach. So that's it for now. This is one of my more difficult days, but there are better days ahead.